Welcome back, people, to Halo Rec League. We have a good 2-0 game. A couple of teams have had a good start so far. It's Loud Whine, eDivided, and I'm here with my boy Clips. Your first Halo cast as well. How are you?
Good, Joe. I'm excited. Halo, it's been a little while for me, but I'm hyped to tune in into some Halo. I did some R6 casting earlier, and now I gotta dive into this one with you, and of all people with you, so I think it'll be all right. I think I'll have a good time.
Yeah, and eDivided has the control of the point so far, but as you saw, Overshield not really being contested. So a break opportunity coming in, but opening kill on this engagement going in. A couple of trades going out, but eDivided hold on. But as I say that, the Overshield does come in. Snipe shots missing, but it should be cleaned up. Loud Whine the break, and they get some time.
Yeah, now they're able to collect on the time and make sure that they're able to do as much as they can here. Wait for the opponents to respawn of eDivided as they begin to make their push now with the sniper to see if they're able to hit the shots.
Yeah, and still kills going in. eDivided looking good so far. I feel like they just have control of the map, kind of getting their way whenever they want. Even when Loud Whine had control of that point, they weren't really able to collect time the entire time, and eDivided, they've been able to do just that, and they should be poised to take this first point. And not just that, they have control of the tower, so they have control of the next point as well. That rotation going good for them, but a couple of kills going the way of Loud Whine, and they are going to get ready to try and get an early break. They do 3 kills their way. One more player at C4 on that top tower. He gets cleaned up, and Loud Whine a clean 4 dead.
Yeah, well done by Loud Whine to not only secure the first point, but then to rotate over to tower control and maintain this point now as they've gotten the early picks and are able to continue to close things out. The defense is going well for them. The Needler out in hand for Goat as he'll do a little bit of tag damage, but no kills to come out of it just yet. A couple bodies do fall now for Loud Whine as they lose 2. Twisted falls for eDivided, but still Loud Whine with the promise, with the control, and all of a sudden point control comes in favor of eDivided.
And good. A little bit of a killing spree right now. A nice nade. He gets another one. Has that heat wave in hand. A little 7 spree, and that's big. Loud Whine have found themselves in control of C. eDivided, they had the overshield there, and it's pretty weird because both teams that have had the overshield haven't been able to actually capitalize on using it. And it's weird to see because it feels like on King of the Hill especially, whoever has that overshield control normally gets to use it pretty well. Not able to do it. eDivided to break themselves. No team being able to hold on and control. Such a back and forth King of the Hill.
Yeah, eDivided able to get the point this time around. They've also secured the sniper, so they'll be able to sit inside of Sniper Tower and hold this long angle all the way across the middle side of the map. We'll have to see if Kaiser Ryan is able to find these frags. But meanwhile, Loud Whine, they've exploded onto the site, and they're real close. It's going to be down to Kaiser Ryan to hold on, but he'll have to bounce on out of there, especially after Loud Whine wins a couple fights. But no, it's the hero Amazing C4 who will find one and secure the tower for themselves.
Yeah, and C4 having a pretty good map himself, just misses the sticky and not able to clean up that kill. Loud Whine getting a couple themselves, but that has to equate to some time. They're not that far behind in the kills department, but they just haven't been able to translate that into points, and eDivided doing a great job. And right there, still, the kills have gone through early so quickly, but they just weren't able to get into the time, and eDivided getting a little more than they should have been able to and get that overshield because of it, and the kills now going their way. The first time that overshield has really netted a bunch of control. eDivided another early break, and they're looking to go up 3-0 so quickly on this live fire King of the Hill.
You might as well call it a clip there from C4, who fouled 3 huge picks to be able to secure that hill for his team. The only player on Loud Whine really showing up the frag department is Goat, who finds another one there, but still, even then, has just struggled. Loud Whine cannot get any traction going as eDivided are so close to closing this one out. Have to fight for this final point as Loud Whine try to keep themselves in this one.
Yeah, and the one, I guess, saving grace at the moment for Loud Whine is how much time is on that game clock. But it's not going to equate to anything until they can get on time, and they've just not been able to do it. Kills still going eDivided's way. C4 15-6, and with no plans of slowing down. eDivided, doesn't even matter that game clock still so high, but it's just because eDivided stayed on that control the entire time, just having the point. And still finally Loud Whine getting some kills and finally getting themselves on a point.
It's about time they establish control, but can they hold it? That's been the story of this entire map so far, is can Loud Whine continue to hold on to the hill? Because eDivided are simply winning most of their fights, especially when they're able to get the proper setup. Here's the first pick to go through as Edimus goes down, and another body might find their life soon. A trade to come through, those sticky nade lands, so it at least helps his team out. Kaiser Ryan, but Loud Whine still down a man, and now down to just one body to try to hold on in the hill. It won't happen anymore as eDivided be able to secure a little bit more time and might even be able to close this one out here, Joe.
Yeah, it looks like they are spawning so deep, Loud Whine, just across the map, and I don't believe they can get to the time as well. That overshield going eDivided, and a quick 4-0.
Finally, things are kicked off, and some early nades to be thrown out of the pockets of Dr. Hanzo as an early pick comes here for Kaiser Ryan. eDivided with the opener and potentially even able to get control of the camo.
Yeah, and actually not able to do it. It does get burned and not able to find the kill. One more player, one shot in that camo pit. Does find the kill. Looked a little scary right there. Eden Munster able to find it, and Loud Whine find themselves in a little bit of a lead. They have these players kind of trapped inside of gold pipes. Find one, everything getting traded out. Players weak, nades going out, but Goat finds another one. And a little bit of a lead starting off. They know where these players are, have them kind of back down. The cross is covered, and Loud Whine, a much better start to this map than the last one.
And great team play here by Goat. Able to get a couple kills there for Loud Whine as they are dominating, at least so far. They're up 5 picks and up now 6. So they've been the first team to eclipse the double-digit mark here in the Slayer match. They've also got control of the beam rifle, I believe, so be able to use the electricity from long range and hopefully get a couple nice headshots here on to eDivided. But it really comes down to, can eDivided bounce back? Amazing C4, who was the top frag for his team last map on King of the Hill, with a slow, rough start at 0-3 already. Not finding many picks, and is kind of one of the reasons why Loud Whine are doing so well here.
Yeah, the pace is just so much quicker than that first map, and eDivided finally find themselves a little, they've evened themselves out, gotten a little bit of stability. The game is a lot quicker of a pace, but now everything's been slowed down, which is a little more their alley. But Loud Whine do get that opening pick. Still trades going out, and Loud Whine doing a great job. They found the picks. 3 dead. They're looking for that last player. Not able to find him quite yet, but I believe that's the camo going Loud Whine's way, and that's 2 players, 1 shot. Goat finds a double kill. C4 still up, but he's down to 1 HP. That's a third for Goat. One more trying to find his overkill, but gonna think better of it. Found himself to 1 HP. Gets his kill, a killing spree for Goat as he's picking up right where he left off from that map 1.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, continuing to be so dominant in this match, and Loud Whine just are all over the map. They've got convoluted chaos, but it's controlled well enough by them to make sure that they're getting the frags that they need and making sure that they maintain this lead. They has now doubled their lead. It's over 12 kills. It's just as many that eDivided have, but with control of the beam rifle, we'll have to see how Ed Munster is able to take charge here. If he can land a couple shots, it'd be great for his team. And there's a nice headshot. Able to bring down 1 as eDivided have found a couple picks now, as Edmus is the last player alive until the respawn comes through for that one.
Yeah, we've seen how powerful that shock rifle can be in the right hands, and just unfortunately for him has to just watch his team just go down. But still a 9-kill lead, a lot going on, but it looks like eDivided find themselves a little bit better. C4, a nice trade right there, but that's not what they need. They need to start getting some untraded kills, get themselves back into the game, not able to do so still. Loud Whine holding on to a 9-kill lead. They're just doing a great job at spreading themselves around the map. It feels like they're just not giving eDivided an inch. Wherever they go, they find resistance, and that pressure has been doing a great job at really keeping that going on, but a few more kills going eDivided's way. They're just slowly inching their way back into the game as that lead is now trimmed to 7 kills.
They finally cracked some of the defensive prowess here by Loud Whine, and eDivided slowly finding themselves back in this match. They're only just a couple kills away from evening things out and completely changing the fact of the matter. The active camo comes through for C4 as he'll be able to, at least hopefully, leverage the camo to be able to position himself in a nice spot behind Loud Whine. Then a couple more kills and maybe even secure the lead. But no, he'll fall as still Loud Whine maintain a solid 7-point lead.
Yeah, and that camo play was kind of a big change, but they weren't able to convert off of that quite yet. But eDivided still finding a few kills, but Loud Whine, that double push down long, still able to do it. It's just trade over and over again, but as we've said before, that's not what eDivided need. They need to get some kills right here. C4 able to stay alive. 5-kill game. It's starting to get so much closer as GOAT trying to find something, but 4 kills, a couple of big gunfights coming in. eDivided now in control of everything on the map. A 2-kill game. eDivided completely turned the tables of this. They have control of the angles right now. Players just finding a way to stay alive. And it's now a 1-kill game, and they have these players pinned back inside of C as eDivided. The momentum looking their way as they've now come into the lead.
Tying the game and now finding the lead, Joe. It's incredible what eDivided has been able to do after they started the map so ice cold, but now they're on fire. Continuing to find these kills as they frag out. This time it's Iso Ayoshi who's been the one finding the kills here for eDivided. They've been playing real smart as well. I feel like I've seen Loud Whine get a little too overambitious and overswing some of their positions, losing a lot of their gunfights. Instead, eDivided, whenever they take a lot of damage, lose their shield, they back up. They wait for their teammates to come help, and they double team any of the players that are contesting them from Loud Whine. And they found themselves so much success in that strategy that they've retaken the lead and now could begin to run away with it.
Yeah, that pace at the beginning of the game was actually doing really well for them, but they've kind of gotten ahead of themselves a little bit. That teamwork not up to par with eDivided, but Loud Whine starting to find themselves some kills as well. But Ayoshi, a couple of big kills. eDivided creating some separation here, and Loud Whine need to get themselves back in it, but they're now trapped inside of gold. All four players are going to have to find a way to get out, and eDivided really have no intention of pushing them too early. They don't want to give them too much as Loud Whine. All the really responsibilities on them to get out of this position. eDivided don't have much to do, and they do just that. Loud Whine breaking through this whirlpool area of the map is a trade not able to go in for Twisted. Loud Whine get themselves out of that position. GOAT finds another player on this attic, the bait and switch. He's able to stay alive. One shot in this area, he goes down, but C4 in another area gets a kill. And they're just trades going back and forth. One stuck in L2 in those batteries, but C4 starting to catch some fire as well. He is just finding kills. The assist numbers, if you look at it, doing so well for eDivided. The teamwork doing good. They only need 6 kills to close this game out.
Well, C4 started this map off super cold, Joe, but all of a sudden it's starting to heat up and pop off. Could he close this one out? He does. Only 5 kills remaining for eDivided to close out this map. It'll be 8 kills that Loud Whine wants to find, which is essentially 2 spawn resets, but eDivided so close. Loud Whine bringing this one within just a point away. 5 kills remaining. It's so close, super tense. There's so much time left in this match too, Joe, so teams will have to see exactly how safe they want to play. But again, more bodies being lost. Fights continuing as we've got a 4v4 this time around.
Yeah, this camo play is going to be such a big deal, but not accounting from this player coming through Mangler Pit. They grab the camo, not able to take him down. eDivided just need one more kill, and it's going to come in. eDivided complete the comeback, and they take a 2-0 lead in the series going into the softball.
Yeah, I am also concerned about Loud Whine's ability to secure the frags and to be able to set up properly, because as soon as he gets broken, Joe, it's not been good for them. But eDivided able to get early opening kills, secure the ball control. At least it appears as so. Administration try to walk over and at least be a little bit of a distraction with the rocks. Able to find one on an amazing C4, but still ends up getting traded out, and it should be a little bit of ball time here for eDivided.
Yeah, they want to get themselves into a setup, but Loud Whine doing great at getting this P streak control, and eDivided do get the ball out, but Loud Whine starting to press it a little bit. eDivided have this B-side control. Loud Whine doing a decent job at maybe not getting the kills, but at least preventing eDivided from getting the ball. I say that. They end up going down. The ball going to be in the hands of Ayoshi. eDivided going to start gathering some time.
Yeah, Ayoshi able to grab the ball, get the time. It'll come down to the setup. Where exactly is the best position? Joe, you're a much more experienced player with Halo than I am. Where is the ideal spot you want the ball for streets? I know you weren't a huge fan of this map before Oddball, but where exactly are the best setup spots that you can imagine to be in?
It's either this A side where that ball just was, or that C side. You need to be able to be in a spot to play the ball. That's the one hard part of streets. You're not able to throw the ball off the map, so it's a little bit harder to prevent teams from getting an easy setup off of a break, and that's the problem. So you get that ball A side, they throw it out mid, but trying to rotate it into the middle of the map. eDivided getting a couple of kills, and they're going to try and rotate this ball out. It's big that you end up being on top of your ball rotations, because once again, you can't play the ball off the map. You can't get a little hard reset really on this map, so it's a very, very important that you're being on top of the rotations, and Loud Whine not able to get that ball out properly, but they do get rocket control. They do get this ball over Cafe side, and unfortunately not able to continue to stay up. The kills go the way of eDivided, and they get themselves an A setup.
And eDivided have control of all the nice, sweet weaponry displayed all across the map. Loud Whine, though, able to get a pick onto Twisted, so he'll fall, and it'll be a 4v3. Loud Whine should be able to take advantage of this and hopefully get a little bit of ball time once they're able to do so. But eDivided trying to play safe and make sure that they can still play their numbers, not trying to grab too much time, as they want to make sure that they gain or maintain control of the ball.
Yeah, and Loud Whine doing a good job. They're getting outslayed pretty heavily, and for the most part, kind of just everything. They're losing a lot of control, kills, but they're doing a really good job at staying in the game. You see how heavily they're getting outslayed, but only down 19 seconds. So kind of doing a good job at that damage control, making sure that they're just staying in the game and finding their opportunities. The second that they get those opportunities, they have to convert, though, as they're staying in the game. But kills not going their way enough. 3 seconds on the game clock, still a lot of time to work with, but Loud Whine need to do a good job at getting really a setup, and they haven't been able to do that so far. eDivided finding more kills, as they are the ones that got the ball out. That was the swing time for Loud Whine. Kills still being traded, but that's not what they need. They need to get a clean sweep, and they're just not doing it.
eDivided still continuing to maintain that ball time, wiping Loud Whine yet again. 2 bodies will fall, and if they're able to close things out, this is going to be a huge lead that Loud Whine are going to have to try to come back from. Couple kills go in favor of Loud Whine now, as they're able to find 2 or 3, and Rockets control effectively in the path, at least for eDivided. Amazing C4, though, losing that fight. Still 1 rocket remains in the weaponry.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure they picked it up, and the ball does get played into the middle of the map, and that's the problem. They didn't pick up the rockets. Another big kill coming in, but Loud Whine still trading kills out, but not being able to find time. It's been the story of this first round. They get the ball to A, finally an opportunity for them to really hold, and having the shotgun, they have the weapons that they need to make this start to happen. A comeback going to need to come in here, but not able to find a kill with that shotgun. 2 players to 1 health, and not able to really get these kills, and eDivided doing such a good job at playing their lives. 3 kills going in, and the last player spawns all the way out C. eDivided a good break to get themselves some time and a setup.
Yeah, this is where you wait here if you're Loud Whine. Make sure you got all 4 bodies ready to go, because eDivided, it's exactly what they did. They got the pick, and then they began the flood. They found another pick, and it just kept getting easier as it goes. Loud Whine were so desperate to try to grab ball time that they had one less gun on the board, and that's what punished them in that fight in the end. They had to drop the ball, and there just wasn't enough time between the drop and being able to get the gun up and aimed properly. That eDivided were able to trade out themselves and find ball control as they continue to maintain it, but they'll be fighting heavily with Loud Whine, who try to rotate it back to Seaside.
Yeah, and it's got to be their ball rotation. They play it kind of still hollows, but still kills going their way. But still 35 seconds left. It feels like eDivided is doing much better than Loud Whine, is playing their lives, helping each other, and finally a little bit of help, coming in. But as rockets are going up, finally have that opening pick. They do get rocket control, get one kill with it, but two instantly being traded. But eDivided still far in the map. Loud Whine should be able to spawn close here, and another team fight is going to have to be won if eDivided want to close out this round.
They're so close to closing things out, and there's the ball being dropped. It seems like control is established here for eDivided, but the Stalker Rifle missing a couple shots here is Twisted, who tries to maintain and manage that ball control, but has no teammates around. It should be an easy fight win for Loud Whine, but are you kidding me, Twisted? You're able to get that one at minimum, and here comes the support from eDivided.
Yeah, and the B push coming through with eDivided, but there's only two players over there, and one player does spawn close inside of PD. You see where the spawns are coming in. eDivided getting those close spawns, a little bit of a mistake from Loud Whine, and that might just cost them the round. The ball does get out mid, and a big win from Advance as they re-establish this A control. One player, Kaiser Ryan, still being a nuisance back A, and Loud Whine have to clear him out. Able to do it, but takes one player down with him, and eDivided now have that control. Loud Whine still have one player spawning inside PD, but that ball is going to be able to brought out. A little bit of a struggle. Brings it out mid. Loud Whine not going to be able to do anything about this, as this round should be over.
There's only 30 seconds remaining, Joe, as time is beginning to dwindle down, as ball control will have to be grabbed and maintained by Loud Whine if the time ends. They've set up here inside of shop, but are losing some of their fights. But just as I say that, they're going to get that pick on an amazing C4. Goat does fall, however, as Loud Whine continuing to lose just enough of their fights to keep themselves out of it. eDivided will grab the ball. They just got to hold on for another second, and there they are. The clean 3-0 series win. Or, I'm sorry.
Best of three. You can't forget.
Best of three. Best of three. Oh, no. I forgot. Well, it's a clean win for round one of the ball, but now a new attempt here, at least for Loud Whine. They're not quite out of it, but it's getting close and a little bit dire, desperate, I would argue.
They started to do better towards the end of that round, especially at kind of just actually getting some kills and getting some time, really, but eDivided just proved to be a little bit too much in the end, and they don't find the rockets. Loud Whine starting to finally get themselves into this game. The rockets in their hands, they are able to pick up the ball and get themselves a C setup, something that we haven't seen so far in this game. And Loud Whine pushed so far up the map and not quite sure where they want to go over here, not sure where they want to bring the ball, and they're actually going to bring it right to eDivided. A little bit of a mistake. They had C cleared and they just don't decide to get there. They had all the kills and still a lot to clean up, and a big mistake from Loud Whine that might come back to get them in.
We'll have to see. Fights continue to ring out as Loud Whine yet again just losing in that frag department. Ball's out here, at least for eDivided. They have the opportunity to be able to recover, but we'll have to see how things go as more damage comes through. But again, eDivided just continue to win their ones as the fights just go in favor. And now they've got ball control, can begin to rack up time for the first time, at least in this round. And we'll pull it a little bit closer as Loud Whine have to wait for their respawn timers to kick in.
Yeah, and to me, a C setup is much easier to hold than an A setup, or not even just hold, but harder to break. And I say that, but Loud Whine sneak up into this commando area and have the shotgun to work with, and eDivided, a little bit of a mistake, but Loud Whine not able to hold it right there, not able to really get too much clean, but that shotgun coming in out of ammo right now, but you know, just I don't know. It's Loud Whine. They've had those moments, the little flashes of what they could be. We've seen that, you know. They are a 2-0 team, so we've seen those flashes of a 2-0 team, but not enough to really translate that into wins and eDivided. We've seen them as a 2-0 team coming out to just be a lot better than Loud Whine really have been across the entirety of the series.
Yeah, they just look more strong, more awake, Joe. I would argue at least. eDivided have just been just enough better here to be a little bit more successful in the match. But more of these kills continue to come through as believe we've found ourselves to watching some of the rest of the round 2 that we had missed. So ball control in favor of Loud Whine. They continue to grab at least a little bit of control after eDivided got such a nice large lead, but still things remaining in favor for eDivided.
Yeah, and some big wins once again. eDivided winning them, and it's just been the story. It's just been the story. Those 1v1s, oh so important. eDivided winning them, and they've just been translating that so well. So just a tough place. And actually, wait, the colors are throwing me off.
Yes, they are. Every
they're
time
switching back and forth.
Swaps back and forth. I think this is Loud Whine actually with the lead here. So Loud Whine, yes, it is Loud Whine with the lead. So they've managed to grab some really nice ball time, and I imagine have we found ourselves into round 3, then eDivided will have to see exactly how everything goes. But again, Loud Whine continuing to just get more and more points.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to work out for them. They're finally showing signs of life. The kills going through, and Aoshi do have rockets, but they're gonna have to break this quickly. They don't have a lot of time to work with right here, and only 7 seconds left. The ball still in their control. Finally, eDivided able to get the break, and they're able to get some time themselves, but Loud Whine have put themselves so close to closing out the round. eDivided gonna have to be perfect from this point on.
This would be the first point of anything that Loud Whine would win in this match, because they wouldn't find any King of the Hill points. Although they were close, did not find any. In Slayer, obviously, it really just comes down to fights, as although they had a nice large lead, ended up losing out closer towards the end. But this time around, it looks like they might be able to just close this one out. Just as I say something, eDivided able to grab the ball and begin to work their own for points. As if they do die, if it is a full team sweep, then it will most likely be a round loss for eDivided, and Loud Whine might be able to begin to make this one come back.
Yeah, they have the opportunity to do it, but kills going the way of Loud Whine. Just so close to trying to close it out. They do get the ball over as long as he can pick it up. Looks like he'll be able to do just that, and the round finding its way into the hearts of Loud Whine. They tie it up, finally able to get something into this game as they send us to a round 3 in this oddball.
Well, nice easy closeout here for Loud Whine as they're able to send it to round 3, but it'll be really in control of who gets these rockets. I feel like if you get the rockets off the bat, you set yourself up nicely early in the match, and if you can build a nice little lead here in the beginning, you'll really find yourself happy towards the end.
Yeah, and they just need to continue to do what they're doing right now, to be quite honest. And they do have rockets once again, finding 2 kills off of that, a double kill by Dr. Hanso. Had the shotgun, but not able to use it. Loud Whine starting to get those kills. Everything's starting to go their way, and you feel a little bit of a shift of momentum starting to come in. Loud Whine getting themselves, reminding everyone that they're here to play.
They are indeed, as finally the ball will be grabbed and in possession of Loud Whine as they now hold. We'll have to see how well they can do as Goat to establish that control and is able to begin to rotate things out. As setup will come through. It looks like it'll be a top A hold, at least for now, but is there good coverage here from Goat? He'll be able to knock amazing C4 down. A little bit of HP, but ends up losing his fight as C4 falls.
Yeah, and C4 has been doing so well for them so far in the series. My OG casting duo. Casted with last week. It's awesome to see him be able to grind out the game, be a beast on the mic and in the game in the server. So having a good time, but maybe not having as good of a map so far here as he was on those first couple of maps, and kind of been the difference maker, I guess. Maybe the X factor, if you will. And Loud Whine have the ball control, I believe. No, it is eDivided, the colors. Screwing me up, but that's okay. It's all good. eDivided getting some stability here, able to get themselves in a little bit of a lead so far, and Loud Whine spawning all the way out back B in that red room, and first kill, first blood in this team fight being found by eDivided.
Be a tough one here for Loud Whine to be able to come back from this one. Amazing C4 able to find one, but does get picked. Dr. Hanzo now for Loud Whine, trying to make something happen, something occur for them, as he'll be able to grab rockets control. This could be huge, but loses his fight, able to fire at least one off, so keep some of that utility out of the pockets of eDivided, but still, they maintain that ball control and continue to rack up those points.
Yeah, they are continuing to wrap up take those points, I should say. And Rockets killed by C4. He does get the control of it, and it's just continuing to find those kills. This is the eDivided we've seen all series so far, and they're just continuing to keep control. Loud Whine starting to crumble a little bit here. Oof. It's just tough. It's tough so far. They started to look so good, and they just lose it so quickly, and it's not something you like to see.
Yeah, this time around, Joe, it seems like eDivided are just finding the kills in better succession, better fashion, and overall maintaining the control of the ball just as they want. There's no messing around. They want to close this one out as cleanly as they can. Even if they lost one round in oddball, they've been the more dominant team, I think, so far in the entire match. They continue to win their ones that, honestly, I don't even know if they should be able to, Joe.
Yeah, they shouldn't, but Dr. Hanzo not able to find the kill. C4 able to close it out. That isn't great. Oh, so tough. So tough. They almost had it. They almost had it, but am I tweaking? Dude, these colors hurt me so bad.
Yeah, I think Loud Whine has the lead. Let's see.
That's crazy.
Yes.
No, we're good. We're good.
Does have the lead. Okay, for some reason I thought eDivided had the lead for the most part. It appears as though Loud Whine, they're fighting back. They've got the ball control and they've rotated over to the C side. Lower hold will appear to be the play as Dr. Hanzo continuing to rack up these points, and I assume if eDivided can win just a couple more fights, continue to hold on the ball, they only need one more big push to win. Should they end up losing ball control, just stay alive as long as possible, hold on to this ball as much as you can, and try to maintain this control. You're so close to closing this one out, or Loud Whine rather, and being able to come back in this one.
Yeah, I believe we're actually getting a little bit of a replay of round 2. I think we went backwards a little back in time action, back to the future a little bit here.
Oh my gosh, we did.
We're bending time and space. This is great.
Oh, that was awesome. I was like, I swear eDivided had the lead. What happened?
No, I was like, am I so used here? Am I stupid? But no, we're not. It's just a little bit. Can't go ahead, but it's all good. We can watch this again. It was great to see the first time.
I'm down for it. I'm here for it. I'll say that much, at least. We'll be able to get back up to current things. They catch back up, and we'll have to find out. As again, more bodies continue to fall. eDivided, Loud Whine. Look good in this match, Joe. I still think that eDivided are definitely the better team. But Loud Whine, they've had their shining moments. I'll say that.
Yeah, the moments they have, but you have to string it together, as we saw kind of that beginning of round 3. It was kind of, eDivided having that control, and Loud Whine we're still seeing right now. Obviously, we don't know the outcome of the game, but it's just they didn't have the good start, and we're seeing what they could have been at the beginning of that round 3, and it's just, you know, they weren't able to find it at the beginning. But flashes coming in from Loud Whine, but eDivided still looked good so far on that round 3, and we're gonna start to see it again, which is so great. Awesome. We get to finally see it come through.
Yeah, at least a little bit round 3. Maybe we'll be able to skip past some of the action. If not, we'll rewatch it. I enjoyed watching the very nice setup and initial opening here by eDivided, as we now get to hop in. There's the opening pick there from Inmost. Of course, you've already seen it, but you get to see more. So.
Yeah, we get to run it back again. Maybe provide some extra analysis on what we saw.
I'll leave that to you, because you're the expert with Halo. You always claim that you can cook me in Halo, so maybe
That's
maybe we'll
not
have to play.
saying a lot.
You know what, Joe? We are gonna have to hop on after this, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be all
a little 1v1.
Yeah.
A little 1v1 action.
I think so.
I don't know if you want the
I'll have
work.
to carry in some ranked or something. We'll have to...
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have Halo installed right now or updated. Definitely not updated. But after watching, I watched a little bit last week because I was watching UCast. I was excited to watch, and I was like, man, that looks fun to get back into again. And I'm kind of glad I'm getting back into Halo, because I've always loved the game, played it ever since I was little. But now I get that. Now I get the fun opportunity to do so again.
Yeah, we all love Halo, don't we? And once again, we're starting to see it. Loud Whine have this early control here, but I mean, it's just so odd to see a team who had, you know, been previously so good start to falter like this. And whether that's just how good eDivided is or Loud Whine just having an off day, just odd to see.
It's a little odd, at least in some moments, but able to get some of that ball time back on track is, yet again, eDivided just dominating in the kill feed, it seems.
Yeah, and as we had previously seen, eDivided start to really get some kills here, string everything together, and just Loud Whine, like we said, crumbling a little bit. It's just, I mean, they lose a setup instantly. They had all the control, they had rockets, the picks, they had the kills, and not able to really convert off of any of those opportunities. And eDivided just continuing to find wave after wave of kills and continuing to grab time here, and Loud Whine not able to find these kills back, and eDivided starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, it appears as though eDivided finally have the control they've been begging and asking for. Rockets in their pocket as well, but Dr. Hanzo ends up losing that fight. Loud Divided continuing to get the utility, but fail to get anything out of it. I think we're just about at that point where we were before we got disconnected from the match. So now we get to see what really started to happen, as it appears as though eDivided continuing to just win the fights that they shouldn't be. Look at Amazing C4 on low HP, still willing to take some of those fights, even then able to get the trades at least at the minimum.
Yeah, the trade's still coming through, and Twisted not able to find that kill as well. eDivided have a couple of people going down, but still, even when those kills were going Loud Whine's way, they somehow lose that ball, and eDivided have found themselves back A as those Loud Whine players spawning out back B, and just absolute mayhem going through. C4 down to 1 HP, but somehow stays alive and finds a kill. Some Herculean efforts coming through, still on 1 HP, still staying alive, finding multiple kills on 1 HP the entire time, as they put themselves across 75, 3/4 of the way through, and just needing 25 seconds to not only close out the round or the game, but the entire series.
Yeah, eDivided are so close closing this one out, but they do lose a couple of these picks. But here is the hero. Amazing C4 will find 2. Could he find a 3rd? No, not quite, but there's one from behind. It's Ayoshi. He's able to regain control, and this should bring the ball total up to at least close to 90, if not all the way up to 90 points. And that means one team fight win. eDivided will close this one out with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's 3-0 victory, a pretty dominant one at that, and kills still going their way as they also have control of the ball and all the positions they really need. Twisted getting that first kill of this exchange. So close and only needing 10 seconds. Those rockets going up as well, but just no time to work with as 3, 2, 1, and that is eDivided taking the series pretty dominantly as well. I mean, I guess not necessarily.